So today we're reacting to a song that's been suggested by one of you guys. I'm gonna put their name somewhere in the description box. So the song that we're reacting today is called Ajab Khail. I hope I said that properly. And the person that will be performing is Shafqat Amanat Ali. Yes, we're going back to Coke Studios golden eras, basically where everything kind of became viral, which is Coke Studio season 2 from 2009. So get ready to experience one of the most powerful vocal performances ever recorded. Okay, so the first few moments of the song introduce us to the singer Shafqat Ali, who is a very popular singer in Pakistan, as he is one of the living legends of a long lineage. He's the 9th generation, I think, of that lineage that still sings wonderful Sufi music. Getting back to the song, we start in this atmosphere that is heavy on the instrument yet quiet in the surroundings. So the vibe is very mystical. And yeah, like I said before, I thought it was gonna be very electric, but when he started singing, it stayed devoted, it stayed Sufi. And so far he's telling us about this wonderfully strange game that the divine likes to play. So the title of the song basically means, what is strange game? He says some very strange game God plays, the feeder of the poor, I think something in those lines, the feeder of the poor. What a powerful game he plays when he gives more to others and leave others starving or leave others hungry. So the theme of the song is about the bitterness of the world, how quite strange life can be. I don't know if it's a prayer, but it's a conversation with God that allows to ask some questions, so the imbalance of the things of the world. Isn't it weird? I'm even finding myself to like vibe with the music, and it's the whole thing is set in such a strange way that you can't help but vibe. The song in itself, the soul of the song as he's performing, is kind of tricky because it's a conversation with God demanding answers, right? It's a demand. It's not like hoping for something. It is like, why is this happening, right? It's a little little bit, tad bit aggressive, but it's still very virtuous and very calm. Now, I would have expected that to clash with the music, the percussions themselves, because those are not overpowering the voice of the singer, but I would have expected that to clash with the message or the spirit, the essence of what he's saying, but that's not happening. And that's why I'm finding myself to vibe with the percussions while I'm like enjoying the lyrics, like reading the lyrics. I'm like, wait, this is kind of good points that he's making, and he's talking to God. And usually when we're talking to God, we're in that space, right? The percussions I wouldn't have put normally as belonging to that kind of space, but it makes sense in this scenario. It kind of shows that contrast, the contradictory space that you're in when you're asking questions, how your mind is just churning, you're demanding answers from God. So I think that also makes sense from the percussions, which is really beautiful, by the way. Like the sound of the drums, the sound of the electric guitar, the sound of the tabla. It says a lot of modernity in there and also a lot of culture. Look at that. That's so beautiful. Because that sounds really echoey. How is he doing that? That is insane. How is he doing that? Ooh, nice. Ooh, that was a great finish, y'all. Yeah, that was crazy. That was really good. That was so good, especially the end. That ending piece was everything. In my opinion, at the core, the song is a spiritual complaint that addresses God directly but respectfully asking about why all the misery within our existence. And you can even tell within the title, Ajab means wonders, which means wonderful, right? Khail or Kyle, I do not know how to say it, kind of means play. So it's a play which is supposedly a good thing, and wondrous, which is marvelous, which is a good thing, but put together it's kind of a mess. And that's where the question comes into, like, what kind of satire is this? As a traditional piece of music, this is a Sufi song that is actually coming from a very long tradition, and the argument behind it is that you're able to talk and conversate and argue with God, as faith is not a passive acceptance but an active, sometimes angry, sometimes desperate conversation. It's not one way, it's always two ways, as long as you're willing to listen. So in my opinion, a song about complaining to God, it might sound strange, but it definitely resonates because it's honest. There's nothing more beautiful in faith when you're honest and when you also love, when you're willing to do the right thing, which is to live in service to God, right? And within that service to God, ask all the questions. So the artist Shafqat Amanat was born in Pakistan, Lahore in 1965 to a family that is essentially musical royalty. Shafqat is the 9th generation of his family lineage to carry on the legacy. The artist does carry his heritage in his voice. As you can see it, when he sings, he really does transport the audience. In this one in particular, his vocal timbre as well as the percussions on stage and the setup of the stage, the backup singers, the use of the tabla, the use of the native Pakistani instruments and the electric guitar, everything balanced out well with the singer's voice. He definitely does have a range of classical music in there, but what I really liked about it was also the way that he conveys the emotion of the song while he's singing. So you guys, that's it for this video today. Let me know how you felt about this Coke Studio song. I've done a lot of Sufi Coke Studio music before, but I'd like to thank the person that suggested this, and I will pin your name in the description box if you guys have any other Coke Studio songs, Sufi songs, doesn't have to be Coke Studio, that you'd like me to react to. Let me know in the comment section. If you have not done so yet, do not forget to go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button so you can vibe with me on the next reaction video.